has it all. Now, your local news.
Straight ahead, who's your choice for Georgia governor? An afternoon concert ends with a bolt of lightning. We're going hog wild for a birthday bash. The Green Jackets try to make headlines twice in one night. There was plenty to do down by the river, and we'll join the fun. I'm Karlyn Lothery. Your #1 weekend news starts now.
News 12, WRDW-TV, Augusta, your news station.
It may do the body good, but the dairy industry faces strong competition from soft drinks and bottled water. So, milk is getting a makeover. And in Texas, the message is never again, as a man who was dragged for nearly 3 miles to his death is laid to rest. Good evening, I'm Karlyn Lothery. Tom Campbell has the night off. He was brutally dragged to his death on a remote Jasper, Texas road. Today, James Byrd was laid to rest. Civil rights and political leaders attended his funeral, each with a similar goal in mind. Jim Axelrod has the story. Now, there are reports tonight of a copycat incident in Illinois where a teen says he was dragged alongside a sport utility vehicle until his shirt ripped off. Police are investigating that incident. Closer to home, a Pelion, South Carolina man drowns at a private pond in Kershaw County. 25-year-old Timothy Proctor was swimming with several friends around 3 o'clock this morning. The group went out onto the pond in a small boat. They called for help after Proctor didn't resurface. His body was discovered about 8 hours later. The sheriff says alcohol may have been involved in that factor. Also out of the Palmetto State, the health department is getting ready to spend nearly $100,000 a year to treat sex offenders. The new sexual predator law allows authorities to keep serial rapists and child molesters locked up indefinitely after their prison term ends. The inmate can petition for release annually. Health officials estimate 450 inmates will need screenings during the coming year. Well, who should be Georgia's next governor? That's what the Georgia National Guard tried to figure out today during a forum for the state's gubernatorial candidates. Michael Bowers, Bruce Hatfield, David Poitras, and Nancy Schaefer were all at the Radisson on the Riverwalk today. It was a chance to meet the candidates and hear their platforms. Apart from military issues, most were concerned about the crime rate.
And I think we've got some candidates up there that are addressing it as far as the conversations go, but I only think you have 1 or 2 that really know what it takes to correct these problems.
Republican candidate Guy Milner chose not to participate in today's event. The Augusta Green Jackets are eyeing major leagues, but some of their local fans are eyeing them. Some local kids got a chance to hang out and play with the pros at today's Youth Fantasy Camp. It's a fantasy many sports fans never get to fulfill.
Oh, I love it. It's just all kinds of fun. We get to sign autographs, all kinds of stuff for the players. We get to talk with them. We get to sit around with them.
You know, they make it. You realize how lucky you are and how much fun it is just to come out here. You're playing a game, you know.
The camp is an annual event for local youths. Another annual event is the Time to Care Family Fair at the 8th Street Plaza. There is plenty of entertainment for the whole family to enjoy. Cloggers and, of course, face painting for the kids. News 12 also had a mini news set where our own Richard Rogers was conducting interviews and hanging out with the kids and trying to recruit some new employees, maybe.
I think it's great. There's not enough for family nowadays, and there needs to be more of it.
Other performances include a Taekwondo demonstration, a choir performance, and some clowns. And a few hours later, the sounds of jazz were drifting across the Riverwalk. Augusta-based World Band put on a free show at the 8th Street Plaza this evening. Band leader Sylvester Anderson says things were just too quiet along Cotton Row on the weekend, so he put together a concert to stir things up. Not too bad. And they had better weather tonight, at least, than that hot, sweltering weather this afternoon.
Cooled off just a bit, but we're going to be warming up quite a bit tomorrow again. Next couple of days, but gradual cooling trend in progress, so not too bad. By the end of the week, looks like it'll be pretty comfortable. Let's take a look at...
Well, the House Speaker makes a pledge to some Georgia students, and lightning strikes not once or twice, but 4 times. The damage report on News 12 continues. A group of circus animals are stranded in the Gulf of Mexico, and a training flight in Florida has a deadly ending. These stories top the South in 60 seconds. A student on the brink of graduation and her instructor are killed during a military training exercise. 23-year-old Laura Vincent and her instructor lost their lives when her plane and another clipped each other while flying over the Florida Keys earlier this week. The wreckage was pulled out of the shallow waters today. The victims were based out of Whiting Field on Florida's Gulf Coast. It looks like a modern-day Noah's Ark, but this group of circus animals is stranded off the Gulf Coast near Mobile, Alabama. The animals left Spain en route to a circus in Mexico, but were denied entry into the country. The ASPCA tried to remove the animals from the ship today, but their efforts were in vain. And finally, some were wearing caps topped with Newt 2000. Others had messages like Boot Newt. But House Speaker Newt Gingrich took it all in stride today at Georgia Tech's commencement. Gingrich told the 1,100 graduates he's personally committed to doubling the science budget over the next decade to help America move into the 21st century. Gingrich also spoke at Ohio University. And that's a look at the South in 60 seconds. One person is in critical condition after 11 people were injured in a severe thunderstorm during a concert in Washington, D.C. 4 of the 11 were hit by lightning. Tens of thousands of concert goers were at Robert F. Kennedy Memorial Stadium today for a benefit concert aimed at raising awareness about religious persecution in Tibet. It was during Herbie Hancock's performance that a loud explosion during the thunderstorm brought a gasp from the crowd. The rest of today's concert was canceled. Well, after a steamy hot afternoon, tonight turned out rather nice. Steve Smith has your Storm Team 12 forecast for the rest of your weekend next. Still ahead, the drink that does the body good gets a makeover. And meet the man who tied the knot just to get some peace and quiet. These stories when News 12 continues. Got milk? It appears fewer people do. June is National Dairy Month, so some dairy farmers are trying something new to get more grown-ups to drink milk. Herb Weisbaum explains. And Power Milk and Pasture Perfect have done well in several taste tests. Look for them in your grocery store. Well, last week we told you about a Minnesota man's quest to find a bride. Today, he said, I do. 23 women showed up at the Mall of America to try and get married to Dave Weinlich. He promised he would get married today for years, but last week came and there were no candidates in sight, so he held an open audition. Dave's family and friends voted on the candidates, and 28-year-old Elizabeth Runce was the winner. There's no word yet on where the couple will honeymoon. One extra note, though, the newlyweds aren't legally married until the Minnesota 3-day waiting period is over. And a happy anniversary to the Harley Motorcycle Company. Thousands of Harley-Davidson owners are partying in Milwaukee this weekend for the company's 95th anniversary. Police estimate over 50,000 Harleys were in the parade this morning. The events celebrating the Milwaukee company's success have been going on all week. Tonight there are concerts and other unofficial parties. The Green Jackets are feeling the playoff pressure. Lachlan McLean is next with sports to show us if Augusta captured a division title tonight. Plus, it was a day full of rarities in the major leagues. The Braves pulled off a once-in-a-lifetime feat. So did the LA Dodgers. How about a triple play? That's coming up. But first, the Major League Baseball scoreboard. Over Spuds McKenzie, there's a new dog in town, and she's got her own bag of tricks. This girl's got ups, and she's next. She hasn't been on David Letterman's Stupid Pet Tricks yet, but maybe she should be. Minnie is a 3-year-old Jack Russell Terrier who just happens to like to climb trees. She got started last fall when she was chasing a squirrel in the backyard. With her tremendous vertical leap, she can spring over fences and hop up to tree branches. Well, the good news is she hasn't fallen yet. Kind of like wants to be like Mike. Air Mini or something, I don't know.
Let's take a look at that final forecast. Plenty of sunshine throughout the day tomorrow. I had 92 by 4.
And thanks for watching News 12 at 11. We'll see you tomorrow for News 12 at 6 o'clock. Good night.